Good afternoon and welcome to, let me find this, to the Prince George's County Public Schools Budget Public Hearing on the fiscal year 2012 operating budget reconciliation. Ms. Thompson, please call the roll.
Mr. Armwood? Present. Ms. Boston?
Present.
Mr. Barrows?
Aye.
Ms. Eubanks?
Present.
Ms. Higgins? Ms. Johnson? Ms. Waller?
Present.
Mr. Harris?
Present.
Mrs. Jacobs? Mrs. Beck?
Present.
Thank you.
I would like to ask everyone to turn off any wireless communication devices as they interfere with the microphones and taking of the meeting. Thank you. The Board of Education has convened this evening for the sole purpose of receiving public comment on the fiscal year 2012 operating budget reconciliation. I would like to give you a brief update on the decisions approved by the Prince George's County Council on May 26th. The County Council has increased the FY 2012 proposed budget for the school system to restore $4.5 million and has asked the school system to cut an additional $3 million from its budget to fund the following programs: specialty transportation, reading recovery, Head Start Pre-K, Camp Schmidt. The total approved budget from the council totals $1.614 billion. This is roughly $10 million more than what the board requested in February. We are all here this evening to listen to Dr. Height's recommendations for the reconciliation of the FY 2012 operating budget. The Board of Education will listen to the recommendations this evening and will vote at the June 20th, 2011 Board of Education meeting at 7:05 p.m. I'd like to now turn this over to Dr. Height. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I think we were going to have public comment first?
Right, I didn't know if you had comment before the...
No, we
Okay.
will listen to public comment, and then I will provide my recommendations.
Speakers who are registered will be limited to 3 minutes. Public comment speakers. You have been registered to speak in a public comment forum where the Board of Education will listen to your comments. The board will not address your comments. All registered speakers will have 3 minutes to make their presentation. At the sound of the buzzer, speakers may complete that sentence only. Registered speakers may not relinquish any part of their speaking time to another registered or unregistered individual. Speakers may not address individuals or issues with profanity or derogatory terms. You will be warned once. If you continue, your comments will be terminated and you may be asked to leave the meeting. Speakers are encouraged to use titles rather than names. For example, principal, superintendent, assistant superintendent, etc. Please leave a copy of your statement in the file box located next to the microphone. Your adherence to these guidelines will enable the public participation process to move smoothly. Our first speaker is Andre Nottingham, individual.
Good afternoon, everyone. Members of the Board of Ed, Superintendent Height and staff, and rest of the fellow concerned Prince George's County citizens. I'm speaking on behalf of John Hanson Montessori School, which I mentioned, but it's not noted there. I have 2 kids enrolled at John Hanson Montessori School. My oldest is a rising 9th grader, so it's just moving up from 8th grade, going to enroll at Oxnell High School in the Science and Tech program. I've seen a drastic change in the John Hanson Montessori program, staffing-wise and otherwise. We went from 42 middle schoolers last year to about 24 this year. So what's happening is parents are making decisions with their feet. The quality is being compromised, the Montessori program. Before I go further, I wanted to thank, obviously, the Prince George's County State Delegation, the county executive, county council, superintendent and staff, and then members of the board, and then also the concerned citizens for imploring you all to restore funding to the very important initiatives that are going to be reviewed later on. But In reviewing the budget reconciliation, you're looking at reinstating specialty transportation, which is great, modifying staffing for reading recovery, expansion of Head Start, and restoration of funding for Camp Schmidt. Those are some critical things, very important, but wanted to commend you with that, but then also to let you know that the job is unfinished, okay? We still have some things that we need to take a look at with our specialty programs. What I find is that the burden is being shifted now to principals to make staffing decisions in which they really don't have a lot to choose from. So in other words, as I'm talking about John Hanson Montessori, we're talking about specialty instructors, physical education, music, band and orchestra, language instructors, and in art. Some of the positions are being sacrificed, and they contribute to the well-roundedness of education in the Montessori program. So I don't understand whether there's just not a sensitivity to the uniqueness of a program such as Montessori, or a lack of understanding overall, because in cutting these positions, what you're doing is decimating the program. And as I said earlier, parents are making choices to walk with their feet because we're seeing a retrenchment in our middle school population. And if we continue to do that, then the next step you all will say is the fact that there's not a demand for Montessori program, because you can see the retrenchment in the middle school age, and there's going to be problems overall for the Montessori program. So before we get to that point, I want us to kind of have some dialogue with that. What am I talking about specifically? For example, with the middle school, we're going to be moving from 5 teachers to 3. What I've been informed of is that the reading and language art teacher is told that they're going to need to teach social studies also. So they're teaching out of their specialty area. So in other words, that's causing some issues and some concerns that I would have personally. My youngest is going to 3rd grade next year, and I would hope that the middle school program would be as quality as it is now when she gets there, okay? And some of the changes, such as shifting from 5 to 3 middle school teachers, is going to have a direct and consequential impact on the Montessori curriculum and the program. The other side of the coin, we're looking at other erosions in the program, including, we're talking about 0.5 Spanish teachers, 0.5 band teachers, 0.5 art teachers, 0.4 media specialists. I'm an educator, and I don't know what this means, so I know with a principal, what does that mean when they have 0.5, 0.4? It's erosion of the curriculum, which we need to make sure the fact that we have fully staffed and fully funded individuals in those positions to be able to exert the curriculum of the Montessori program. Thank you very much for your time, and I'd like you to revisit and reconsider taking a look at the impact, devastating impact, that our staffing pattern is going to have on our programs.
Thank you, Mr. Nottingham. Shirley Diggs.
Good afternoon. Allow me to start by saying thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak before you on behalf of the athletic directors. The athletic directors are one of only a few groups of PG County employees that have to work very close together 6 days a week and anywhere from 9 to 14 hours a day. If you visit any high school in the county, late in the evening you will find athletic directors still on duty supervising the athletic teams at practices and games and supervising spectators from our communities. We have been moved to a 0.5 position within our schools, which now means we will be teaching classes, grading papers, entering grades, and doing the many things that teachers do, including an abundance of reports, scheduling, and continuing to stay late after school and weekends and at night supervising the different activities for athletics. Principals and parents put their trust in us to operate the athletic programs under a safe and orderly environment. This is only possible if we continue our long hours of dedicated service. To date, we have not received any definite clarification as to the structure of our workday from our principals, supervisors, or our union. We have heard that we will be only having 1 period a day for AD position. That leaves 1 period a day to complete the AD work, which includes seasonal verification residence of all athletes, athletic packets, purchasing, budgeting, GPAs for all students, collecting athletic fees from all athletes, and many other duties that are placed upon us. This is not considered a 0.5 position. We have been told to use our planning time for the AD workload. The planning time will be used to attend school staff development sessions, grading assignments, entering grades, developing lesson plans, and items pertaining to teaching. We are now being asked to start at 7:15 in the morning in many schools and continue leaving the building at 9 or 9:30 at night. We were told we would be getting a stipend, but we have not heard anything on the amount. After taking the 42% plus, in 1 school year, we could make more by full-time teaching and coaching with fewer hours demanded upon us. The athletic directors do not want to leave our positions because we are all in this field because we love to work with our students and our athletes. The school year is over on Monday, and schedulers are completing their schedules for teachers. We would like to be afforded the opportunity to make a decision regarding our professional and financial livelihood as any other group of professionals in this county would. Our passion and expertise is on display on any given night or weekend at the 22 high schools in this county. Our ability to effectively perform our duties and responsibilities will be severely hampered without a definite and accurate description of a .5 athletic director's position. Please help us in gaining the information we need to continue working with our community and young people in the field of education through athletics. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrea Bynum.
Good evening. I'm also speaking on behalf of the 22 athletic directors, and I'm addressing the state of our job security. The once full-time 11-month athletic director position has now been reduced to a .5 teacher position in less than 2 years. There is now grave uncertainty whether we will ever return to full-time, whether we will be placed in our buildings, and if our teaching certification is in jeopardy if we are required to teach out of our content area as part of our .5 and .5 athletic director position. As the school year comes to a close, evaluations have been done, and some of us are still without a definite assignment for the upcoming school year, let alone what the expectations will be for our position as athletic director for the upcoming school year. We are dedicated athletic directors who focus our careers around our student athletes as our #1 priority. Many of us work a minimum of 60 to 80 hours a week, which includes weeknights as well as weekends, to ensure our students' success academically and athletically. It is a shame that our position as county employees is being reduced to almost a non-factor in the school system when we provide a service for thousands of our students who without us would not get the full services that we provide on a daily basis. As a concerned board, many of your athletic directors are being asked to teach out of their certified content area, required to work outside the normal duty day without compensation. The expectation that all teachers are highly qualified in their content area is a disservice to your students to require an athletic director who performs over a full-time job in what is now a .5 position and to still give quality instruction in .5 of a day. We understand there's a budget crisis, but on the other hand, the reduction of our position directly impacts the success of our students because both jobs you are asking us to do require 100% dedication and 100% qualification. We are asking, do our students deserve 50% dedication and 50% qualification, or the 150% that we give as full-time athletic directors? Thank you.
Thank you. Glenard Johnson.
Good afternoon. My name is Glenard Johnson. I would like to thank you all for allowing me to speak to the board this afternoon to address some concerns of the high school athletic directors. On behalf of my other 21 colleagues, we feel that our position has taken a greater hit than many other instructional positions in the county without having any representation from us. We all understand the difficult and challenging times that this school system is facing with today's economy. However, several decisions over the past year have been made in reference to our positions without getting any feedback or responses from us. Last fiscal year, the athletic director position was reduced from an 11-month to a 10-month position, which caused an average of $8,000 decrease in salary. Now the position is being reduced to a .5 position, while the other .5 will encompass teaching duties. Nevertheless, with both of these reductions, our workload continues to increase. We have daily and monthly reports, collection of gate receipts, eligibility packets for each individual student, supervision of every home game and practices, transportation, game preparation, just to name a few. Now we're being asked to collect a newly instituted activity fee from all of our student athletes. This workload is not only unbearable, but also will become unfeasible with only half a day to complete everything that's being asked of us. Currently, we are working an average of 10 to 12-hour days while only being compensated for 7.5 hours. A stipend for the .5 AD position has been mentioned as a possibility for compensation. However, the stipend that is being discussed is the same monetary figure that was given to athletic directors in 2005. Since this period of time, coaches' salaries have been increased by nearly 100%, and we feel the same consideration should be given to the athletic position, which is the supervisor of the coaches. If the stipend would remain the same, athletic directors would make an approximate net pay of $1,838 after taxes, which will boil down to $9.57 per day, or $3.19 per hour for the extra hours that we have and are required to work. To make this point even more pungent is that the typical teacher could teach their regular workload and coach one sport, meanwhile have less responsibilities and be more financially secure than their supervising athletic director. This brings the question, why should we continue to be athletic directors? It's a very simple answer. It's because we have the passion, we have the love for our schools, our students, and our school communities. So board, please help us before this becomes a farce and our county and school system potentially loses some great individuals, but more importantly, some remarkable athletic directors. Thank you.
Thank you. Tamara Davis Brown.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair Beck, school board members, Superintendent Height, and the Prince George's County Public School System administrative staff. My name is Tamara Davis Brown, and my husband and I live in Clinton, Maryland. We are proud parents of 2 students attending John Hanson Montessori School in Oxon Hill, Maryland, where I serve as delegate of the PTSA. We are longstanding active parents at the school and are highly concerned about the current budget under reconciliation that would eliminate 2 of only 5 middle school teachers at John Hanson, as well as eliminate the fine arts program, including art, dance, music, as well as Spanish, physical education, and middle school sports that have come to be signature to the Montessori learning environment. We fully understand and appreciate the tough budget decisions that the administration, the school board, and the county council had to make this year and recognize that cuts will have to be made. However, cuts should not be made to a school that consistently meets AYP, is certified as a Maryland Green School, has an award-winning chorus, band, and orchestra, and continues to, have a 400+ waiting list of parents and students waiting to get into the school. Quite frankly, we are tired of coming before you to defend our school and its program. We're tired of trying to keep cuts from reaching our students at the classroom level. We're tired of reminding you of the 400+ waiting list every year, and yet you ignore our pleas for improvement, expansion, and enhancement and advancement. We are perplexed that among the reconciliation items being considered is a last-minute budget item that added by the superintendent to introduce the Confucius Institute at Paint Branch Elementary School at a cost of $600,000 to $700,000. This cost includes additional staff, renovations for the program, which is only open to students in the Paint Branch boundary, whereas John Hanson Montessori, along with Robert Goddard, are open to students throughout the county. Those funds should be used to maintain our middle school staff at its current level and maintain our enrichment classes that educate the whole child. Before the school board votes to approve a new untested program, please allocate more funds to a school with a track record of success and an obvious need for advancement and expansion as evidenced by its waiting list. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Sally Smith.
Good afternoon. My name is Sally Smith, and I am a 30-year Prince George's County resident, and I'm also an instructor at your Howard B. Owens Science Center. I want to thank you for the opportunity to let me share with you how the Howard B. Owens Science Center is helping the county in meeting its 5 strategic goals for planning. And I request tonight that I share reasons with you that you restore programming to full capacity at the Howard B. Owens Science Center, because we are helping you achieve these goals. Goal 1, high student achievement. Goal 1 is about having Prince George's County students ready to compete knowledgeably in higher education and in the current workforce. The Howard B. Owens Science Center offers K-12 instruction, which not only supports, but more importantly, extends the science curriculum. At the center, the programs are developed with expert partner scientists to give our students exposure and experiences in cutting-edge science not possible in a regular classroom setting. It automatically engages the students in real-world science. For example, our 4th grade program this year, World Biomes, the students who came to it, it was designed by NASA. NASA gave the center over $10,000 worth of loaned equipment and the scientists' time. Our students got to interact with real scientists and do real field work with them. Programs like these meet Goal 1 and should be preserved. Goal 2, highly effective teachers. The Science Center not only provides quality science instruction to the students, but also visiting teachers are engaged in our programs to foster quality science instruction, to build their knowledge, to share with them the technologies that we have, so this may go back to the classroom. Evaluation and student performance data is available for all of the Howard B. Owens science programs. Each of our programs is aligned with state outcomes. We have data how the students not performed on achievement tests, but how they performed at the Science Center. For example, 100% of the visiting students, that's 863, identified specific minerals based on physical and testing properties. 97 could classify rock types based on texture properties. 96% of 3rd graders in the NASA program were able to distinguish collected soil types from the field. Goal 4, strong community partnerships. We believe in this too. Owens continues to develop strong partnerships with NASA, NOAA, the American Meteorological Society, Johns Hopkins, and others. We promote formal and informal science literacy, education, and public outreach. NASA is helping us with new programs. Through the American Meteorological Society, we offer master instruction for free at the Science Center. I just want to encourage you to continue what we do and to restore the positions, because going from 11 to 2 teachers for next year is not going to help you meet these goals. And instruction is all we have left.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy Hansen.
Good afternoon, board members, Dr. Height, and other administration. First, I would like to thank all of you for your work. I know that you put in long hours, study projects, and plan big, and you, like me, want the best for our children at Prince George's County. That is why I am speaking for Greenbelt Middle School PTA and myself, and I am a bit startled, saddened, and a little bit angry at the idea of 2 new programs that will cost a lot of money, the Confucius Institute and the Academy of Sciences. And yes, in the best of the world, I would love to see these programs. They sound very exciting. But with so many huge cuts in place, it would appear that the 130 or so students who will be involved in these 2 programs will cost every other student in the system a good education. Media specialists, who are being cut hugely, are an integral part of the faculty. They teach children how to find books in the library, how to research, how to write a bibliography, and the most basic educational skill of all, how to find a book you like to read. The media specialists are also parts of the team that do the testing that we need, or that at least you need, the technology work in every school, and in many cases they're in charge of pull-out tag programs, leaving some schools tag-free. We cannot support an idea that so few should have an amazing programs while the rest of the school populations face its cut programs and hardships of increased class sizes. I also want to add, just for the record, that the Confucius Institute is very frustrating to have a local school to decide they want to have a program, and then the Board of Education pony up the money, sort of then figuratively thumbing your nose at the lottery system that's already in place for the other programs. The lottery system may have problems, but at least it allocates scarce resources fairly. Please put the funds back into the general budget and reinstate our media specialists and our teachers. We're expecting classes of 35 to 40 next year. 6th grade classes of 40 kids in Greenbelt Elementary School. That's a lot of kids. Those teachers are going to be overwhelmed. They're going to do it, but they'll be overwhelmed. It does not seem fair that so few kids should get the money when there are so many that will be struggling to get their teachers' attention. The opening of this program should be delayed and the money put back in. Thank you.
Thank you. Martha Gay.
My name is Martha Gay. I've lived in Prince George's County for 36 years. I currently live in Greenbelt. Prior to my retirement, I was a research chemist with the Food and Drug Administration. Although I have no children in the school system, I believe it is vital to the county to have good schools. They attract good jobs that increase property values. Only if the schools are good will the county's children be able to compete for acceptance to university and qualify for some of the best jobs in the county. I'm therefore here to speak in support of Owens Science Center in particular and schools in general. I have become acquainted with Owens through my participation in the Astronomical Society of Greenbelt, which meets there monthly during the school year and which participates in science nights. I have been consistently impressed by the program at Owens, which excites both students and parents about science. Because science equipment can be expensive, a shared facility such as Owens enables the leveraging of scarce resources. It's my understanding that this has played a vital part in the ability of the school system to offer advanced placement classes, particularly in chemistry. I am told that the current budget reduces by half, and according to the previous speaker, perhaps even more, the number of instructors at Owens, and effectively ends the programs in chemistry and biology. This decision is incomprehensible to me. Good STEM programs like this are a big part of the effort to attract good jobs to the county. Provision of these resources also takes some of the pressure off the students' regular classroom teachers. When I mention that the schools need more money, and I'm really impressed by what I've heard here already today, my friends and neighbors tend to say that the school system is administratively top-heavy, that too much money is devoted to managing rather than to doing. And I'm sure you've heard that. I understand that a $1.6 billion budget requires administrators, managers, and staff. It would be helpful if the Board of Education would at some point educate us on the administrative cost cutting that you have done. How do administrative costs in our county schools compare with our neighbors in Montgomery County and Anne Arundel County, for example? I thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you. Karen Hall. Okay, not seeing Ms. Hall. This now concludes the June 15th, 2011 FY 2012 operating budget public hearing. Our CIP FAB meeting is not slated to begin until 5 o'clock, and so we will take a 20-minute recess until that time. Did you have any comment prior to the? Okay. So we will reconvene at 5 o'clock.